Brick City risen, bankroll efficient.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Once again, I'm back with another Tales from the Wire right now. This one right here, what we're doing. First and foremost, I definitely want to thank y'all for joining me. What's going on? It's your boy, Brick City's finest, JD Wiliams, here with another Tales from the Wire for y'all. Like I said, thank y'all for joining me. Seems like I enjoyed one of the last videos I did, so I figured let me just jump right back on in. This one right here I got for y'all is titled Kidnapped on Thanksgiving. So, like, subscribe, do all the stuff that you need to do, but I'm going to get right on into the tale. So, Thanksgiving, one night in Baltimore. I'm there with a friend that I had met down in Baltimore while I was there. Shout out to my homie, Tori. You already know. He invited me to his house for Thanksgiving dinner to share with his lovely family, wife, children, the whole nine, right? I'm there at the house. We're hanging out. Everything is going great. Actually, the food is just getting done. So, this is I would say it's around 2003, maybe 4. So this is when people used to actually kind of still a little bit at least sit at the table or around the table, or start at the table, so forth. I mean, not to say we don't do it now, but it's like everybody doesn't come at the same time. However, we sit down with the family. The plates are there, about to be served. Literally, as we're lifting our forks up after we say our prayer, blessing, lifting our forks up, the phone rings. Something we don't eat because we're not expecting it. I didn't take that bite. And Tori gets up, he goes over to the phone, and he's making his face like, what? Hangs up, and he says, hey JD, can you go talk in the car real quick? So that's not necessarily uncommon. I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, well, maybe it's something that, is not family oriented, for them to hear, whatever it is, like I said, it's Baltimore. A lot was going on. So anyway, we go to the car and we get in the car, and Tori turns to me and he says, yeah, so Greg just called me, and he said that he's being held in the woods by some dudes, and he need us to bring him, I can't remember the exact amount. I want to say it was maybe somewhere around 5G, something like that, $5,000. He needs us to bring about $5,000 to this place to get him. Now, give you a little bit of backstory on Greg, okay? Greg was a dude that I swear, like, we may have known for maybe 3 weeks and didn't really know him. It was just somebody we had just came across several times, and he just happened to have Tori's phone number, and so he called saying he was kidnapped. He needed $5,000. He needed us to come to the woods and get him. So me and Tori are sitting in the car looking at each other. Now, logic is going to prevail. So, I turn to him and I say, well, we can't do that because then we'll be in the woods with him. So what are we going to do? So I guess really what we was doing was coming to the car so we could kind of feel a little, powwow and feel a little, at least a little guilt relief for at least discussing it, because we knew we wasn't going to go get him. We couldn't. Like I said, there was no way to do it. But so we sat in the car, was like, man, damn, Greg, like, we don't know how you got yourself. Well, we actually know exactly how he got himself in that position. Maybe I'll save that part of the tale for another day when we get a little bit more detailed. But so we went back inside. We had Thanksgiving. Of course, we prayed for Greg. We gave up some prayers for Greg, and we had our Thanksgiving, right? So next morning, I like watching the news, local news, all types of things. But usually you get the signs and things happen. So the very next morning, uh, on the news was a story about this dude, uh, Greg. They said his name, whatever it was on the news report. Yeah, they found him in the woods, but he was alive. But he was shot in the ass. So, and he was all right. He recovered. I actually saw him. I want to say maybe like not even that long after that, maybe like a week or so after that, because like where I was staying, he lived like directly down the street. But yeah, and I mean, he understood why we couldn't come get him. He was like, yeah, it was a bad situation, and this is a kind of a thing that happens quite often. I think even when you make a good decision, you just wonder why certain people call you specifically. You're like, what do you want me to do? I think that's kind of going to be a theme in several of these tales as I get through them, especially when I talk about situations where people is calling me specifically, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Usually we do have a happy ending to those. But yeah, so Baltimore, be more careful, body more, Murderland, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, it was always real, always 100. They kidnapped grown men down there. They might still do it, but yeah, don't go down there. Don't be down there fucking around. But yeah, Tales from the Wire. I think I'll go ahead and leave that one right there. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will certainly catch y'all on the next one. All right, y'all be good. Peace.
Brick City